Hi, this is Monica Alford with Wildside Media. I am back in Legacy Sessions today in Adams Morgan with the dynamic trio behind the Off the Top Art pop-up that is happening this Saturday, August 3rd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. I had to think about that one. Right, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. At Bristle Hairdressing. And Bristle is celebrating its 8th anniversary. And I am here with Kate, Melissa, and Erica, and I'm going to let each of them give you more info about who they are and why they're involved with this event.
I'm Kate Campagna, and I am a local artist in Washington, D.C. I paint murals for a living, as well as do pop-up art shows. And Melissa has been cutting my hair for almost 8 years.
Yeah, almost 8 years. Yeah.
And we've been talking about doing a pop-up art show together for a while now. And the opportunity presented itself this year, and Mel approached me about it, and so we kind of just started talking about it and like kind of things that we wanted to do with the community, and it kind of just came together itself pretty naturally, I feel like. And I'm passing.
Yes.
Passing the baton.
I'm passing the
Well,
baton.
I'm Melissa Konishi. I'm a hairdresser and owner of Bristle Hairdressing. I've been doing hair for a little over 20 years. Just wanted to kind of bring community together, artists, other vendors, to my space. So.
Cool.
And my name is Erica Christian. I am a bartender and som. Around the city, I have my own projects, Empowering the Diner and Satiated. And I was kind of I wouldn't say roped in, but like brought in to this a similar way. We had been having conversations about coming together, doing something that was community and art focused, but bringing like an elevated sort of like fun beverage aspect to it. So that's the part that I will be contributing. And then we'll be doing donation-based beverages, non-alcoholic. We'll have Black woman-made wine and cocktails by both me and one of my besties, Capri Robinson, who is now U.S. Bartender of the Year. We're very proud of her. And we'll just be doing donation-based. This is all in support of my financial and medical needs as I'm seeking sort of services to help maintain my own health, as I have a couple of chronic illnesses, autoimmune disorders, and some like other like chronic headache, migraine things going on. So it's really great. You've given me a great opportunity to sort of support myself and also give in an affordable way to the community. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, I'm very sad I won't be in town for it, but I know that the entire lineup is great, and I feel like Capri is probably who you might be most excited about from your end, but I was going to ask Melissa and Kate if there's an artist that you've been wanting to work with or do something with or highlight who's going to be a part of this that you're particularly excited about, or several. Just kind of like anybody you might want to shout out, or
I feel like all of them.
Yeah, really,
it's a good range. It's a really good range.
It is it's a great range, and just like together, I think it's about in the end, maybe just under a dozen, maybe 10.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's great because like some of the artists I've worked with before, and I'm like super excited about working with them again. But it's also a handful of artists that I haven't really had the opportunity to work with. So I think that's also just like kind of the point too. You know, like better community, better connections. And I think that the show hasn't even happened yet, and I feel like reaping the benefits of the show from it. I think
it's pretty exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah, we have jewelry design, ceramics, photography, like
Vintage
a lot of
wear.
Multimedia arts, or painting, all these things. And which I feel like I have to disclose as the journalist at the table that I do get my hair cut and colored at Bristle, which interestingly enough, Kate, was a recommendation that did not involve Kate or anyone else. I feel like we have a lot of friends in common, and it was not anyone that I think you know. So that was kind of cool. That it was just based on your merit, which is obviously there, and that's great. So you are I feel like you have what I would consider one of the only like punk rock kind of hair salons
Oh,
left.
that's awesome. Thank you.
Where everyone has like a really
Appreciate
cool
that.
haircut. Every time I walk in, I'm like, oh, there's always someone like doing something really avant-garde, you know? Even like the one time I came in, there was like an 8-year-old kid getting a really cool haircut, and I was like, whoa, like I want to be like this guy.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
Being your own individual. So.
Yeah. So, but what I was going to also praise about Bristle is that I think you've had at least several friends that have commissioned pieces of art or
Yes.
walls that they painted. So I feel like that's been an element of your business for a long time.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is there anything about your 8th anniversary party that it felt, I know it was really important to spotlight, well, one, to support Erica in a really, really intentional way, and two, to curate and program something with a dear friend who's great at that. But 3, that you really wanted to support artists of color, particularly BIPOC and femme artists. And so I was just wondering if you could speak a little bit to why that, supporting that community is.
I just kind of been around it for so many years,
Yep.
and I feel like there's just a need for, people to be out there and to be noticed and be acknowledged. I had a lot of clients say, I don't know where to go to find, art, and so I figured having my space, and it's, good size for people to come in and kind of enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right.
I'm very happy about it.
Yeah. Well, and then I know you just talked about the bar a little bit, and then there's some food vendors too, right? Some good nosh.
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
I ran into this really awesome person, Rodney, who owns 7th Street Burgers from New York, but he actually opened a spot in Georgetown. Wanted to sponsor, so he's bringing some burgers in, and then asked a dear friend, Anna Marin at Meats and Foods, to come in with some of her famous chilitos, vegan style. So they're
Nice.
coming in with that as well.
Love it.
Yeah.
And is there like a signature cocktail that you can tease for us? Because I feel like people are going to geek out that you and Capri are going to be.
Yeah, I mean, even more than the cocktails, I'm really excited to be pouring Ward 4 wines. And I'm also holding like a raffle, so you can win like 2 bottles of Ward 4 wines. And because Chala of Green Almond Pantry is so kind and loving, she's also offered up a dinner to go for 2. So raffle tickets are like only $25, and I get to like sort of make that an accessible thing, whereas like getting those 2 bottles of wine and that dinner for 2 could be like a lot more expensive. So that's like the aspect I'm really excited for. And Ward 4 Wines is owned by Justin Trabue, who is like, I believe, 4th generation DC, but now lives out in San Luis Obispo. She's making wines under her own brand, so you can see like her mom's maiden name is Ward. Ward 4 is like where her family, generations of her family have lived. So it's really like sort of this like very fun DC based thing. The label was designed by a local artist named Rhythm Bowers, who does like a lot of like local like art shows and stuff as well. So I think that's actually the aspect that I'm most excited about, is pouring this delicious like 2023 Muscat Blanc. Because it's like made, it's like all of it
hyper
comes,
local.
yes, like all of it comes from the hands of people from DC,
Yeah, that's cool.
and also women, and it's just like a really beautiful thing. So yeah, I think that's the aspect. Otherwise, if you've had my cocktails, I always have some non-alcoholic options. And then I'm just really excited. Capri and I have a great time. It's going to be like some dancing behind the bar, and it's just going to feel a little celebratory. It's my 30th birthday on Friday, and then she just got U.S. Bartender of the Year, so we're just going to be behind the bar just celebrating life, really, and just sharing our fun love for beverage. It's going to be great.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank
Great
you.
things to celebrate.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
And then I know there is at least one other raffle, right, that is connected to.
Well, we'll be selling. I've designed bandanas that we will be selling, and 100% of the sales will be going to Stand Up for Kids.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. I've been repeating it in my head, so I didn't drop the ball on that.
Perfect.
Stand
You said
up.
it at the same time.
We
It's great.
did. Stand Up for Kids.
Yeah.
Yes. So those will be $15 per bandana, and like I said, 100% of sales will be going to that. Melissa picked out the.
Yeah, it's a nonprofit organization that helps youth get resources, outreach, housing, mentorship, etc.
Cool. And it'll be similar to this beautiful graphic behind us,
Yeah,
Yes.
designed
pretty
by
much dead
one
on, yeah.
Kate Campagna.
It's me.
Yes.
Yes.
Which is-
Available in pink and black.
Yes. Yeah, I love it. Okay, going back to dancing behind the bar. We haven't talked about the DJ.
Yes.
I would love
Yeah.
for
Very
Melissa to tell us a little bit
excited.
how she picked the DJ. For
Well,
this
actually,
event. Oh,
it was
you?
Kate.
Yeah, it was
might
me.
be. Okay.
Yeah.
I shouldn't make assumptions. My apologies.
Yeah.
It's all right. Don't let it happen again.
I won't. Learn my lesson.
Yes, my friend Kother Ahmad is going to be DJing, DJ Until, and she is just a stylish, incredible woman who makes, I mean, I think she started DJing during the pandemic as she's like, I want to learn how to do this, and started making these really great like playlists for people to just like jam out to, which I thought was like
Yeah.
really cool, that it was like, I can DJ for you and you can be at home, even though we
Yeah.
all have to be home, you know?
Yeah.
And she's just an incredible, vibrant person who brings like really wonderful vibes. And I
Good
thought,
energy,
yeah, she has great energy. She's a great DJ, and I thought she would have been like, she was actually one of the first people after like, you know, we kind of like came up with the original concept. I was like, I really want Kother to be able to DJ this.
Yeah.
I think that she really just would bring a lot to like kind of like, you know, like the glue for everything, just like kind of just like the good zhuzh, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
For
And
like
You
everything
need a good
together.
zhuzh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At any party. Everybody
And
needs a
fun
good
fact, she did all for my first Empowering the Diner event, which was like 4 weeks. She did the playlist pairings for each event.
That's
So
wow, that's a lot.
she's really
Very
incredible, and she has like a great, like an incredible like background in food and beverage as well. So she's really good at tying together the vibes. You know, like she knows what you want to hear when you're enjoying something delicious. So
Yeah.
it's like absolutely perfect for this event.
Cool.
Yeah.
Does she have like specific genres that she leans into or vibes, or is it just like a? What adjectives would you use to describe her music?
I'd say expansive.
Ooh, I
I'd say
like that.
boundless.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
think that like you can throw anything her way. And she just like her knowledge of music, if you've ever like tapped into her playlists, her knowledge of music, and more so than her knowledge, like her curiosity, is truly boundless. So I really feel like it wouldn't matter which genre you wanted to be prevalent, like she could like rock it out for real. So I really do think she has this just very expansive way of going about it, and she's really good at reading the room and being able to like make people feel safe and comfortable, and she's really able to like make people feel like they can move in a space even when you don't know anyone else. So yeah, I would definitely say expansive, boundless. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I
Yeah.
like sonic adjectives that are not like punk rock or
Yeah.
That's good. I like it. Okay, so Erica, I haven't interviewed you in a long time, or had someone from my team interview you in a long time. So I'd love to know just kind of what else you're up to, and other ways that after everybody that is listening or watching comes on Saturday and has a rad time and hangs out with you guys. And I have FOMO from afar. What else you have going on in August or just coming up soon that we can support you with? And
Yeah, right now I'm in this like fun transition of starting a new job. So I'm now a part of the Silver Lion team, which is really exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I love it. I love that I just get to like kind of nerd out about beverage. So that's really exciting. And then I have, it's August, so it is this month. It's crazy. In 10 days, I will be in Toronto speaking on a panel about body inclusion behind the bar and beyond. I'm really excited. This is going to be at Toronto Cocktail Conference, which is like a super fun opportunity. Like the team that builds it's like very supportive. And I'll be speaking on the panel actually with Capri Robinson and also our friend Michael Daddy Longlegs George. And we'll be talking about the different aspects of what we sort of face in our different styles in different types of bodies, how we are able to like work behind the bar, what it doesn't mean to advocate for ourselves and in our own stories, but also what it means for making space for others. And obviously, I'll be taking on the like chronically ill and disabled perspective. So I'm really excited about that. I think that's like something I'm very, very seriously looking forward to. I haven't been to Toronto since I was a kid. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, so Toronto was like, Disneyland for me. So I'm really excited to just like be back and also really tackle a subject in the industry, and honestly in a lot of industries that's not really touched upon.
Right.
And even when you talk about body inclusion, people often just talk about different size bodies, but people aren't talking about what it means to actually make space for like chronically ill, like people with mobility issues, people with different sort of disabilities, what it means for them to work and make a livable wage, but also create beyond the bar and behind the bar and beyond. So yeah, that's the big thing that I have coming up that I'm really, really excited for.
I love that. I have one follow-up question just because, again, I don't think we've done like a bigger piece on anything you're working on in at least maybe like beginning of COVID. So like close to 4.5 years. I feel like personally, I feel like DC has changed a lot in terms of supporting things like, or not things, topics, very important, relevant topics that impact so many people, like body inclusivity and chronic illnesses. Do you feel like there's been a change? Have we made progress? Are people starting to? Sorry, big question, but I mean,
No, it's a great
because there
question,
aren't a
though.
lot of people that advocate for it,
No.
or that are as open and honest, and also just I want to sing your praises on this front too. Like a lot of people need support, and a lot of people need financial support for many different reasons. It's really hard to put yourself out there, and to do that, and I think it's very brave. And it's really hard not, and I mean that like the most sincere way. It's really hard to, regardless of how noble or important or whatever great reason you're doing it, it's still hard not to be a little self-conscious, right? Or like how many people are clicking on it and adding to the. I get self-conscious for other people when I'm looking at crowdfunding. I'm like, oh, like I really want to do better. Like, how do I send it to more people? But I just want to applaud you for that, because it's you have to put yourself out there and really lay yourself bare in a sense too, know. And so thank you, because there aren't a lot of people that talk about it in the city. But I do think that definitely in the body inclusivity, and I actually had a couple writers with the last magazine that were talking about chronic illnesses and basically telling DC to do a better job on things like transportation, for mobility issues and things like that. And they were pretty well received. So I just want to know in general if you're feeling like, that you've been making a lot of movement. Does it feel that way? Do you?
Well, first I want to say thank you. I like to always say that fear is like my best friend. I just it's like your best friend and she's freaking out a little bit. You just gotta be with her instead of pushing it away. So I feel and I'm lucky to be in community. Even Anna, who owns Meats and Foods, right? She's been incredibly supportive. Just in that way of being hey, asking for what you need can feel really bad sometimes, but it's okay, and you deserve what you need, and people will want to show up for you. So I want to say thank you for that, and also thank you to y'all, because y'all both have been very supportive of me on this journey. I think that when we look at what it means to support, especially through different topics, we look at a lot of structural changes, even having better transportation and things like that. But where we miss it is how do people access that, and what are the requirements? So there are tons of things that I don't that I can't apply for. Even within the food and beverage industry, there are tons of programs I can't apply for because technically my illness is chronic and it's not seen as an emergency. So when I go through emergencies with the illness, when I lost access to my medication, which is over $100,000 a year, when you lose access to those things, there's not anywhere to go. And I think that we miss the mark where we don't humanize the experience. We really sort of make it this problem, okay, fix the problem, but it's not really a problem, it's a reality. So many people, what is it, 1 in 4 Americans are chronically ill, have some form, whether that's chronic migraines or some issue, chronic back pain even. There's so much chronic pain and illness, and I feel we really just missed the mark in not doing enough to support people on the day-to-day. How are you eating? Okay, cool, there are programs that can feed you, but what's required? Okay, you need to make under a certain amount of money, cool, that means you can't work a certain amount, which lowers your resources altogether. Okay, healthcare, cool, you have a mid-tier healthcare. What if it's not really covering your medication? These medications are really expensive. So, I just feel we're lacking the support on that day-to-day, what people go through. I will say, there hasn't been a day without like an incredible amount of pain in my life for a very long time, and I'm asked to show up like every other person is asked to show up, regardless of what their experience is, and then tack onto that all the other intersectional like identities I have, right? So I feel like we're just really missing the mark, that like we forget that we're trying to help individuals and not just droves of people, because not everyone experiences it the same, and not everyone needs the same resources, but we all deserve to have the resources that we need.
Yeah.
So it's like finding that balance, and I think, specifically even in this industry, I'm gonna say like Mark missed over and over again, like with a lot of these issues. Like I look back to everything in the interviews I did in 2020, and I'm like, so who's doing this?
Yeah.
So who's really maintaining it? And it's
like accountability, right? It's
yeah. And we don't do that. We say, like, vote for the right thing or advocate for the right thing, and then we just like leave it alone. It's like we give ourselves a pat on the back a little too early.
Right.
And I feel like that's really what we're missing. So I would say like, we lack a lot of support. Like I'm constantly fundraising, constantly. And it's like exhausting, to have to like reach outside of yourself for help so often, but there's no way I would be able to maintain my life. And all of these like illnesses, like, right, if you have one, odds are you're gonna have some other complications too, and more will come up. Like there's no way to maintain that without support. So what are we doing structurally in our communities to build like systems of support, general support? What do we do when people can't pay their rent? What do we do when people can't afford the food that they need to eat to be healthy, like anti-inflammatory? Or if you were diabetic, like what can you do?
Right.
So I think that's really where we're missing it. We're missing the humanizing aspect of it, the idea that anyone can get sick.
Yeah.
Anyone can wake up one day and have a chronic illness that they didn't know.
Yeah.
So it's a human experience, illnesses, it's, and pain. It's not like so particular to just one group. And how do we support everyone? And how do we support the people who need it the most?
Right.
So I think, I would love to say we're getting there, but we're not.
Yeah. That's
We're
good.
very
I think
much
honest,
not.
that's real. That's
But we
like,
can.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing. We
Yeah.
can. Always ask yourself what you can do.
That's
Can
right.
you give $5 to this? Can you work with distributing groceries? What are your ideas? Like if we all kind of band together and just put our ideas out there, I'm sure we could do a lot and be very impactful, but it has to be a humanized experience. It has to be
Community building,
for
too.
everyone. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like we're missing a tangible toolkit too for just some of the all those things you just described. Okay, is if you're under this threshold or above this threshold, what do you do? Like it's like that chart. Then option B. Then it's like what are those called? Those. It's like you just keep going. But it sounds like that there's so many nuances. But it's like a lot of things in in life. But I was gonna say in DC, like how to apply for a grant. Like ways to get funding when you're a nonprofit or an artist, or the things that shouldn't be so difficult, and no one's really spelling it out for you in any way or making it accessible in a way that they need to.
No.
So I think that could be a cool thing to work on too, is that kind of tangible toolkit of like helping folks that also need help like you, but that maybe don't have the support system that you've built or the confidence that you have to
Or
navigate the platform too. Yeah,
and
that's right.
building community, I've been lucky. I've been very lucky to be able to build community. Like I feel like it's a blessing, and it's not just some, like, do I think I'm a decent person? Yeah, but like it's not just about that. I've been very, very blessed with people who have paid attention, and not everyone can say that.
Yeah.
And so like I find it my responsibility to draw attention to things, even if I am exhausted, even if I feel like I'm dragging myself out of bed to show up. I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna occupy these positions. I'm gonna push my body forward, because that might leave space for the next person to not have to push so hard. And maybe they can just walk into the job that accommodates their chronic illness behind the bar. Maybe they can just like walk into a room and say, hey, like I need help fundraising. Can I get these resources? Can you throw some product my way? And people can just understand like, yo, I totally get it. You're sick. I don't even need to know more, So that's what I'm trying to build.
Yeah. It sounds like you're paving the way for something that we're very behind on. So.
Trying, it's the work.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, on that note of like showing up in spaces where, we need folks to support, do either of you have anything else that you're doing soon or that you are supporting on a regular basis that might have something cool happening in August or the fall, whether it's a music venue or a, I don't know, a muralist doing a cool project, doesn't matter, but just anything that you're like, just like Erica, you're like, this person or this group is doing amazing things for the community, and I'm so excited to support them in some way. Because I feel like you're both really tapped into a lot of different parts of the creative
I
community.
think for me, it's just I'm chilling this summer because I've been so busy over the past year. And
Yeah.
now it's time for it's our slow season now, so I'm trying to like also still focus on the salon, but at the same time, I need to do a lot of things for me, which I've lost touch of.
Self-care's
a bit.
important.
Yeah.
So Saturday is
kinda
like a
where-
big
Saturday's
blowout, and then you
yeah,
can chill.
I love it. Yeah, not necessarily
chill.
totally chill, but yeah, try to mentally. Yeah.
What about you?
I've been spending the last year trying to like kind of same self-care, work more on my own stuff, and be as supportive as I can within the community. So I think this is exactly what I should be doing and what I want to be doing. Nothing super concrete right now, but it's something that I'm still working towards. It's just I want to make as much work as possible, and I want to work with my friends and uplift my friends and do whatever I can to like keep the DC art, beverage, music, whatever scene as strong as it possibly can be.
Hairdressing,
Media, hairdressing,
studio.
Strength, and it's the freaking power of friendship, man. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to, really just tap into that and like make sure the weave of friendship is strong.
100%.
I want to make as much, impactful, intentional work as possible.
Yeah.
So just putting out a bunch of feelers. So if anyone wants to make a bunch of stuff, you want to keep doing this, let's do it.
That's what I
Yes.
kind of want to go for, is just keep going and doing this.
Yeah.
You want to so anniversary party every
Anniversary
year?
party every year and other things in between. That's what I would like to do.
Yeah,
that's
break the
awesome.
seal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything else anyone wants to share about why Saturday is going to be rad? I mean, I feel like we're packing in a lot into a small but mighty space. It is the perfect size space for this event, but there's going to be a lot happening. It's going to be like sensory
A
overload,
lot.
all the
It's
cool
to-
things.
yeah, just to meet new people, meet new
Yeah.
faces, get to know everybody. Yeah, that's
And
what I'm
the-
excited about.
yeah.
Music, drinks.
Yeah.
And the
you know?
location's great. I feel like it's going to bring out a lot of people in the neighborhood too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People seem to be very excited about it, so it's going to
Yeah.
be a good turnout.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Melissa, no pressure. I'm just going to close out on you since, after all, you are the owner of Bristle
Yes.
and you are
Yes.
the hostess of the mostest for it.
Introvert.
So, but I have a couple of really close friends who have been in the hair salon industry,
Yeah.
hairdressing industry in DC, and watched a lot of the more like alt punk, like vintage inspired, like
Yeah.
basically ones that are like have class and taste and style and all those things, like like yours, a little panache.
thank you.
Yeah, a little off the top, but that have not survived and have not been like the
Yeah.
barnacle on the ship the way that Bristle has. Or hit that point and been like, okay, we're done. Like we hit the 10-year mark and now we're like
Yeah.
doing something else. So, I know it's a tough industry, and I know that just like everything else, we sometimes have to like change our pricing or our rules. I remember a lot of rules changing during COVID too. Like it's just tough, It's
It
like
was tough.
getting people in
Yeah.
person and making sure they're held accountable for their appointments, regardless of what the kind of appointment it was. But like, can you just kind of tell us why this has been something you've wanted to stick with and why it feels like the community that you
I
want
have
to
no
build?
choice but to do it. I mean, for me personally, I just have felt like this is something I just need to do. I need to be, keep going and keep pushing. I've grown up with, a grandfather who was like, you're not quitting. So it's always still instilled in me. So I have to continuously move. As far as COVID is concerned, it was tough. The first week thought I was coming back, and then wasn't, but I stayed on top of things, and I wasn't going to give up. I have no choice, and that's just the way it is. So but it's really cool to be have a lot of support, like individuals like these friends of mine and other people, to just like support what I do and believe in what I do, and I just continue to keep going, because it's like, for me, it's about making me feel good about it, but also in a weird way of not disappointing other people, even though it's not really about them in ways, or it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it is. This is my career. This is what I've done for over 20 years, and obviously I've done. Another thing too is just I have a lot of friends in the bar restaurant. I did bar for 14 years, And so I just like that community, and I'm just going to keep going doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I had, like I said, I have no choice.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's what I wanted to do. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of intersection there. I had a lot of Rammy nominees in the studio in the past month, and every time I said the creative industry, and I was like, that includes hospitality. I'm including you guys,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, you guys are like 100%. Like, and also in DC, there's so few of us in interesting industries that I totally looped that in. I obviously same with hairdressing, but yeah, there's so much overlap. You know?
And art too. I mean, we're like hair art, I guess. Anyway.
There
Yeah,
you
we're
go.
just like
Yeah.
just so many creatives around here, and I feel like it kind of in DC, there wasn't a whole lot of that being acknowledged, and now seeing it come out more, and people are saying that they're not sure where to go. It's just like, here it is, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of bring that out a little bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. Cool. Last question for everybody is just tell us how we can find you on the interwebs or the social medias, or say you don't want to be found, but just tell us all your things.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Yeah.
I guess
Bristle.
I'm just looking at you,
Yeah,
so-
Bristle Hairdressing
Yeah.
on Instagram. Our website is bristlehairdressing.com. We're in Adams Morgan, above, I guess, Capitol Hemp on Columbia Road. Yeah, just our social media. I think Instagram is basically where we're really on. People can contact us through there, our emails. You know.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm at No Kitten Heels on Instagram.
Cool.
I'm at Erica Sade 08. You can also go to the Empowering the Diner website if you're like interested in seeing the type of events and things that I do. I do a lot with wine and cocktails and event building, community building. So yeah, those are the two main places where you find me.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for spending your Thursday afternoon with me. I was
Thank
like,
you.
what?
Yes, thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
Yeah. Good luck on Saturday, and happy early
Thanks.
birthday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.